start out this morning with just a little bit of gratitude. I feel incredibly fortunate to work for this organization. And that really starts with our ownership group, with Mel Raines.
What if the biggest moments in sports aren't the ones you actually witness on the court? What if the real plays that shake dynasties and crush franchises go down in sleek boardrooms and hushed private meetings miles away from flashing cameras and screaming fans? A recent Indiana Fever game just ignited an online wildfire across social media and every major sports show. But guess what? The headline isn't the final score, the flashy highlights, or even those record-shattering performances that this team somehow makes look routine. Nope, it's about one cryptic tease from a key player that sent the fan base into total meltdown and a jaw-dropping offer for Caitlin Clark that might change everything. We thought we knew about who really holds the power in women's pro basketball. While fans obsess over stats, slow-mo replays, and locker room celebrations, something far juicier has been brewing in the shadows. A behind-the-scenes drama that could reshape not just the Indiana Fever, but the entire structure of women's basketball, and maybe even how the WNBA does business altogether. Because this isn't just about hoops anymore. It's about ego, influence, loyalty, control, and the rising wave of player power shaking a league that's always prided itself on being the humble counterpart to the men's game. The stakes right now couldn't be higher, and the moves happening behind closed doors in Indianapolis might set off a chain reaction that changes contracts, franchises, and front offices for decades to come. We're not just watching basketball, we're witnessing a revolution unfold in real time. And most people, they're completely missing it. From the jump, the chemistry between Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham was pure electricity. The second they hit the hardwood together, it felt like lightning in sneakers. That rare, freaky kind of sports connection where two players seem wired to the same frequency. Cunningham earned her rep fast as Clark's on-court bodyguard, a gritty, no-nonsense guard who balanced the superstar's flash with defensive muscle, intensity, and an unapologetic willingness to do the dirty grind that never makes the stat sheet, but always wins games. That fire and ice combo fueled the Fever's breakout season, forging a duo that looked destined to terrorize the league for years, maybe even kickstart a new WNBA dynasty right there in Indy. Cunningham's bruising defense and fearless grit were the perfect counterweight to Clark's dazzling shot-making and magician-level playmaking, freeing Clark to focus on what she does best, putting on a show, while knowing her back was covered by someone tough enough to take the hits. On the court, they clicked like telepathy in motion. Cunningham just knew where Clark wanted the rock, when to set the screen, and when to clear the lane and let the prodigy cook. Fans went feral over it, building fan pages, crafting duo nicknames, and declaring them the unstoppable foundation of a championship machine that could dominate for the next decade. The merch flew, the moments went viral, and every defensive stand turned into an offensive explosion that made Indiana look like the new capital of women's basketball. But now that dream duo, it might be dead before it ever truly lived, torn apart by the exact same forces that made it legendary. And the warning signs were there, subtle, quiet, overlooked. Until they weren't. What once looked like the perfect basketball marriage might have been cracking beneath the shiny surface all along, disguised by win streaks and playoff hype. Title: The Caitlin Clark Power Play. Opening hook. What if the biggest plays in sports aren't the ones you watch unfold under arena lights? What if the real game, the ruthless chess match that makes or breaks dynasties, is played behind boardroom doors and whispered phone calls far from the roar of the crowd? A single Indiana Fever game lit the match for chaos online, setting sports media ablaze. But the twist? It's not the final score, the viral assist, or even another jaw-dropping night from Caitlin Clark. It's a coded message from a player that's got fans losing their minds. And an outrageous offer for Clark that could change everything we thought we knew about power dynamics in professional women's basketball. While fans have been glued to highlights, cheering wins, and dissecting losses like armchair coaches, an entirely different show has been unfolding off camera. One that's juicier, riskier, and big enough to rewrite the entire rulebook. Not just for the Indiana Fever, but for every corner of women's basketball. This isn't your usual who scored more story. It's power, politics, loyalty, leverage, and the growing storm of player control in a league that's long been run the old-school way, miles apart from its male-dominated cousin. The tension in Indianapolis is boiling, and the chess moves being made behind those executive doors could shape contracts, teams, and reputations for decades. We're not just watching games. We're witnessing a takeover, a revolution hiding in plain sight, and most fans are still too busy counting rebounds to notice. Enter the dynamic duo, the unstoppable connection between Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham, a chemistry so real it could light up an arena. From the second they shared the court, it was like watching two minds operate on the same frequency. Cunningham quickly earned a reputation as Clark's right-hand warrior, the ultimate enforcer. A tough, adaptable guard who perfectly complements the superstar's flash with her grit, defense, and fearless edge. The kind of player who dives for every ball and does the dirty work that doesn't make highlight reels, but wins actual games. That partnership became the heartbeat of the Fever's rise, setting the stage for a long-term takeover. Maybe even a dynasty in Indy. Cunningham's physicality and intensity balanced Clark's pure offensive artistry, giving the prodigy space to shine without fear. And together, they clicked like two parts of the same mind. Cunningham could sense exactly where Clark wanted the pass, when to set the screen, or when to step back and let her light the court on fire. Fans went absolutely insane, turning their bond into a movement. Memes, hashtags, fan edits, the internet crowned them the future of the WNBA. Merch flew off shelves, moments went viral, and the hype built like a championship prophecy. But now, that fairy tale partnership might be over before it even peaks, shattered by the same fame and pressure that made it iconic. The warning signs were subtle, quiet rumbles under the surface, but they were there. What looked like a perfect basketball marriage might have been cracking all along, masked by big wins and playoff buzz. Then came the explosion, the bombshell podcast revelation. In one jaw-dropping episode that stopped the WNBA world in its tracks, Sophie Cunningham went off script. She dropped a truth grenade that nobody saw coming, triggering chaos across social media. Thousands of tweets, wild debates, and fan theories spreading like wildfire. Cunningham didn't sugarcoat a thing. She openly talked about wanting a bigger paycheck. Not fame, not glory, just money to buy herself a house and live comfortably. And honestly, it was the most human thing an athlete could say, especially in a league where salaries don't come close to the millions elsewhere. Her words weren't outrageous. They were real, refreshing even. Finally, a player saying what everyone else thinks but never dares to admit. But then came that line, the one that made the entire internet freeze, when she casually said, "The next team I play for. Not if she plays elsewhere. The next team." Like it was already written. Fans didn't need a translator. They got the message loud and clear. That one phrase said it all. Sophie Cunningham might already be mentally packing her bags. No maybe, no we'll see. It sounded final, like the kind of slip that isn't really a slip at all. More like a public mic drop goodbye. Maybe she's already talking to agents. Maybe offers are already floating around. Either way, it didn't feel accidental. It felt planned, and that's what made it sting. This wasn't some PR stunt she could walk back later with a tweet. It was bold, unapologetic, and impossible to ignore. A verbal goodbye wrapped in podcast banter. And just like that, the message hit the Fever front office like a thunderbolt. Time's almost up. Their enforcer, the other half of the league's hottest duo, might be slipping away. Right as their empire is starting to rise, the timing couldn't be worse. Couldn't have been worse for the Fever organization, coming right as they were trying to build on their most successful season in years and capitalize on the Clark phenomenon that had brought unprecedented attention. Ticket sales, merchandise revenue, and national media coverage to the franchise. Just when everything seemed to be coming together perfectly, when the pieces appeared to be falling perfectly into place for a championship run, until that podcast bomb went off and threatened to blow everything sky high. The shockwaves from Cunningham's possible exit rippled through fans. Indiana supporters went through all 5 stages of grief faster than a WNBA highlight reel. Denial, anger, bargaining, the works. Then, the spotlight shifted hard toward the one name that now carries more weight than most franchises combined. Caitlin Clark. Her off-court empire isn't just impressive, it's rewriting the rules of sports business. We're talking about a monster 8-year, $28 million Nike deal, one of the biggest ever for a woman in basketball history. Add Wilson and State Farm to the mix, and you've got a marketing juggernaut whose brand power rivals entire leagues.